What's up, guys? This is Team OTFS, and who do we have right here?
Steven.
Steven. What did you do, Steven?
I got first place at the shop challenge for JustFlip BCS.
Nice. What format?
Premium.
Premium. Very nice. So let's see what deck you got first place with.
Narukami.
You see, you play Narukami. Oh man, I heard that deck was trash. It's okay. All right. Why don't you just give us a deck profile, and then after that, give us your thoughts and overview of the tournament. All right. So let's start off with the grade zeros. What you got?
For grade zeros, we obviously got the starter. You gotta run it.
Yeah.
We also got the starter.
All right. So we got the Spark Kid right there.
Yeah, the only starter you should run, in my opinion. Next thing after that, we got OT. OT is just OT in this format. If you honestly, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah. People are complaining that it should be banned.
Yeah.
In premium, but they're just.
This is a must in my opinion. Running Teal Guardians, the grade 3 Teal Guardians.
Yeah, these are staples.
Yeah, just honestly, this deck cannot handle early rush. This just saves you that time.
Very nice, very nice.
After that, we got some PGs. We got gold, 4 gold. I'm thinking about changing this one to one of a grade 1 PG, probably the Eradicator gold, just because Ikikashima's out there. It's better just to prepare for it, but then right now, this is what I have.
Alright, no worries.
And then
so good.
And then just for pure offense, we got 3 Polina and then 3 of the Draco Kid Strap Fodder.
So 4 Strap Fodders forward, and 3 of the ones that go into the soul get 10k and draw. Nice,
Yes.
nice. So 7, 4, 1, 4, pretty much? Yeah.
Moving on to the grade 1s.
And grade 1s.
We got 4 Nezgu. This is just your searcher, just searching out your vowings because I'm actually running a card in here that is not an Eradicator, so it's better to just search out your Eradicators out.
Alright.
Following that up, we got Demolition Dragon. This card's honestly a staple in my opinion. Just having that on-hit pressure for drawing is so needed for this deck. And also, when you're binding early game, you want to bind their triggers. So then, when you go into Stunverse late game, they can bind normal units. So then you can force them.
So it doesn't give them much of a choice to like bind triggers. Yeah, that's pretty good. And also, it's soul benefit too.
And then lastly, for grade 1s, we have 4 Dragoons. This is your standard grade 3 searcher. You can probably get your heal triggers out just in case you need that protection from rushing or your G Guardians.
Yeah.
And then moving on to grade 2s. This is where it gets interesting in my opinion. You're running 2 Cho-Oh. I don't think you should run any more than that. I'm even considering taking out 1 right now because all you're using it for is just a restand. You rarely would use the bind effect. It's also an Eradicator, so you can search that out as well with Nezgu. This is also another staple. You should run Suiten as a 4-up. Is your soul charge for the deck? Is your soul charge for Stunverse, your Bowing, anything that you need? This is your free draw and soul. And also, when you're binding with Stunverse from their field, it gets 5k from itself. It does not need a Gauntlet Buster, so it can just get free 5ks from their field.
Yeah, free power is really good.
And then this is where I think it gets pretty interesting. I am running 4 Unruly Dragon from back in the old days.
The bootleg denial.
Yeah, bootleg denial. Basically what it does is CB1, when it intercepts, you can choose one of your opponent's rear guards that is not boosting or attacking and retire it. This is honestly such a good card because it saves me from other attacks, and then it's also another target for them to pick at. So you don't because then they don't want to deal with this during the game.
That's true.
I think this is falling card is Suyo. I think this is probably really important for the deck is because since Stunverse, your opponent has a choice. You want to, meaning that they can sometimes leave a rear guard in the front row. This makes sure that you can clean up those little gaps Stunverse has. And also in addition to that, you get a draw out of it. So free bind, free draw, and also it counts as a 5k. It counts as a 14k on your XL markers. Even makes huge better numbers.
Nice.
Lastly, we got grade 3s now. I'm running 4 Saber. I just prefer Saber right now because one of all the vowing skills, and then getting that extra potential 3 card bind just makes your columns so much stronger and more deadly. I don't necessarily use the restand effect that much. It's because, one, it's sometimes harder to get to the 4 damage, because once you have 4 damage, you're backing yourself into a corner. If you get it off, you get it off. More power to you. But I recommend not forcing the restand out. Next, we have 2 regular vowings. This is just there for the vowing name for Saber.
Okay. Have you ever went into Vowing Sword?
I have never really went to Vowing Sword. I either usually just use it as a rear guard or I discard it.
So you never rode it. You were mostly riding on Saber then.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
mostly
cool.
just ride onto this one.
Nice.
Plus, it looks cooler.
It does. It's wearing a towel. Effect skills right there. It looks like it's wearing a towel. So what else you got? What else you got?
And then lastly, for grade 3s, this is all for you Narukami players out there. I am prepared for Dungari. This is the
Oh
one
man, I got a few questions. How did it go with Dungari? Like,
Dungari actually really saved me one of my games is because I was going against another Dragonic Vanquisher player. He started binding my rear guards with Vanquisher skills, obviously, and also with Stunverse. He got a good portion out of my hand, and I was looking for this Dungari so then he doesn't keep ripping off my hand.
oh, I see.
Not only does it benefit off from other Narukami players, it's also a grade 3 where you can search it, and it's a 17k base with 2 crit. If you combine that with the Vowing skill, you're gonna hit like 57 with 2 crit. So I highly recommend this to any Narukami player out there. With the new Narukami meta that might be coming in, I probably bump this up to 2, maybe, just because you want to see it more often against those Narukami players.
Yeah, that card's like really good for mirror matches. It like
Yeah.
saves you. It's like an anti-meta for Narukami. It's so funny.
It's so free.
Nice,
Also,
nice.
add on to that, it shoves 3 cards back into your deck. So if you have an OT in your drop zone, you can flush back in your OT and then you get it potentially again.
Yeah, it depends on the matchup. So hopefully it does. If not, you could just always use it as a Strive Otter.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then lastly,
anything
this
else?
is grade 4 for the main deck. I run 1 Esperidia.
Oh, nice.
Ever since Saber came out, I don't find a need to run more than 1. The 1 is just there because since I run Show-O in the deck, it just gives me more options. So this one's Soul Blast, this one's a Counter Blast. It just gives you more options. It's a 13k base. Sure has no shield value, but during your Exterminate turns, this is a huge clutch.
Yeah, it looks like it. Plus it's SP. Looks nice.
Yeah, it looks so nice. Then now we have the Strives.
G-Zone.
This is our G-Zone. Starting off, we have 3 Stunverse.
Alright.
I think you can probably get away with 2, but preferably 3 to 4 is best. Because this first Stunverse, it doesn't really do much damage to your opponent, but once you get to the second and third, you start ripping their hand really quick.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, that card. I didn't even get a hit. That's funny.
Yeah, so I feel like it's going to get choice restricted in the future, so I might dummy it down to 2, just in case.
Yeah, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Or how it's getting hit. But yeah.
Next up, we have Exterminate. This is where Suiel and Restanders come in the clutch. For each open radar circle, you get to draw a card. That's honestly unbelievably unfair, in my opinion.
It's crazy, but it's
crazy.
funny. But that card just recently got bought out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like 20
So-
each now, right?
Yeah, get these as soon as possible, guys, before they go up any higher.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy card. It works.
Yeah. His second skill is getting 10k for each, or your front row gains 10k for each open radar circle. That's just crazy to me that you can get free power just for 1 counterblast, and it's for your whole front row, meaning your Excel markers. You can have like 5 columns of 50k, at least 20 plus columns, and you're just gonna whittle away at their hand. And the Restanders, just even more pressure. Going back to Stunverse, for Narukami players, you would either play Stunverse or Exterminate usually, because your opponent, if they call a field, you go into Stunverse, you start ripping up their resources. If they decide to play around you, going to Exterminate is your counter. Is then, if they don't do anything, you just profit off of it.
That's true.
Next after that, I run 2 Voltages. This is just another Vanquisher in the deck. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
This is just another Vanquisher in the deck. In addition to that, when in late game, you have enough. When you think your opponent has like tons and tons of cards in their bind zone, each of your rear cards will gain 3k for each card in their bind zone, and that can get really scary really quickly. It's basically another Exterminate, but just as scary.
Have you ever gone into it?
I have never gone into this because I'm actually explaining the reason why I don't go into this that often.
Yeah.
Because these guys already do enough damage as it is, but this is just a backup, I guess, just in case I run out of these.
Alright.
Next, I play 2 V-Busters. This is just another Vanquisher in the name, but if you ever feel like you need to, sometimes gain that extra drive from V-Buster skill, it's pretty nice to have, just in case.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then we have one VMAX.
One VMAX.
That's why I'm running both Voltage and V-Buster. I can use them to G-Flip using Stunverse, and then V-Buster deal 1 damage. If they're at 5 already, it's a free kill.
Pretty much, they'll be at 5. Yeah, Thunderstrike 5. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's easy to get Thunderstrike 5, and it's just a free kill for the game. I've never used this yet because I either die faster than this or I kill them before that. But then just having it is just nice to have.
It is.
And then this just connecting even more into the bind zone. GB8.
GBA.
Just free power. All in all, basically this deck just trying to abuse their G zone or their bind zone. I mean, as much as possible. And then we run counteract. I am thinking about running this to 2 because it's just a free plus 20k. Your opponent does not want to bind 2 front row rear guards. That's losing attackers. All in all, it's just a really broken G guard for Narukami.
That's crazy.
I am running 2 Bulwark for those matchups like people who play United Sanctuary who want to build boards. This is honestly the card to run. For every 4 cards in their bind zone, you get to retire one of the rested rear guards. You can easily get rid of a column that could potentially restand later on. And then lastly, for this deck profile, we have 2 Impede. 2 Impede, most broken G guard in the format in my opinion. Your opponent decides to do board fill, and you have nothing. Free 2 attackers, or free 2 rear guards, gone away. For people who don't know, you can run this. You can play this more than once during your turn, and you can potentially stop their whole turn from any plays. I'm in the works of a new deck profile right now where I might bump this up to 3. And then at one point, when I was test playing it, I G-guarded 3 Impedes in 1 turn, and then it just stopped all of their plays. So honestly, this is a must. If you're not running this, you're missing out. This is just really nice for Narukami to have. And that's my deck profile.
Nice. So that's a really good deck profile right there. So overview, what were your matchups?
For my matchups, I mainly went against Narukami players. There was about 3 other Narukami players. One of them was a Descendant E-Red player. One was a Vanquisher. And the last one was my friend Irvin over here, who's videotaping this. He got top 2 with me.
Nice, yeah.
Playing his Descendant E-Red deck. Overall, I think the tournament was pretty nice. Questionable on some community's comments after the tournament, but overall, I think the tournament was pretty good. I would like to see more premium players come out because, I need a little bit more of a challenge sometimes.
That's true, yeah. You wouldn't happen to have the buy card with you, would you?
I do not have the buy card with me right now. It's sitting on my table at home. I wish I brought it over, but then...
It's like show proof.
Yeah, show proof.
But don't worry, we believe you. We believe you that you made first place.
Yeah. Well, that's my deck profile, guys.
Yeah, anything else you wanted to add? Or is that it?
That should be it.
All right, cool. Awesome, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this first place shop challenge Narukami deck. Please make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe for more Team OT to Pass videos. And now, Urban Moneybags and Steven from Team OT to Pass signing up.